All right, now let's do a review of everything we did yesterday, which means Monday. So I'm going to pull up the Excel spreadsheet, and I'm going to do a few extra problems or a few extra data because I want to do the 5-number summary. So I have to have more than 5 numbers to do the 5-number summary. So with that being said, I'm going to make these a little bit bigger, and we're going to do the borders all around so y'all can see. And I'm going to color the fill a little bit gray. And that way, hopefully everything will stand out. We'll go to Arial, and y'all should be able to see everything. All right, so we're going to do, since we did odd yesterday, which is Monday, we'll do even today. We'll do 12. And let's do 71, 71, 73, 75, 77, 80, 80, 80, 85, and 90. Let's see how many that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 95, and 98. Okay, I want you to go ahead and do everything you can with those 12 numbers. I'll give you a couple of minutes. Do everything you can by hand. Don't worry, I'm going to show everybody how to use the calculator when we get through. I'm going to show everybody how to use the calculator. But I want you to understand how we're doing it by hand. Okay? So I could teach my 14-year-old son how to use a calculator. That's no brain work there. So take a minute and work on that, and I'll give you 2 minutes. It's 8:10 right now. I'll wait till 8:12. Everything you can do. Well, 23 out of 27 ain't bad. I'm glad y'all check y'all's emails now. Except for those people that walked in class this morning and didn't know what the hell was going on. Nah, nobody like that. All right, it's 8:13. And there's what we went over so far. I'm going to do the 5-number summary right here. That consists of the mean, first quartile, second quartile, third quartile, and the max. I just took some cough syrup before I started talking today, so I don't know how long it's going to last. Okay. So the mean, let's go ahead and get a sum of this. So that's sum of all those numbers. So equals 975 divided by 12. That number look good? Give me a thumbs up. Is that what y'all got? Appreciate the 1, 2 thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you very much. Y'all know that's communication. You're not supposed to do that. These other people are going to get mad at y'all. All right, median. Well, we got to find the 2 middle numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's our 2 middle numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 up top, 5 below. So equals. Now, I got most of my teeth in my head. I've got running water in my house, and I've got several degrees. I know that the average of 80 and 80 is 80. I don't need some imbecile to tell me that. Okay? We good on that? But I'm going to go through the math so that you'll know what I'm doing. I always get some smart ass to say, well, you don't know that the average is 80? Idiot. Anyway, this number plus this number divided by 2. And that is your median. And it's also, guess what? Your second quartile. Make a note. Your median is also your second quartile. Mode. What number shows up the most? Looks like 80. What do y'all think? Range is equal to the highest number minus the lowest number. Mid-range is equal to the highest number plus lowest number divided by 2. And remember, these 3 are numbers that are very important. Okay? So let's find our variance. This is x. So we know that the formula for the variance is equal to the summation of x minus x bar quantity squared over n minus 1. So we're going to take the mean away from each of the x's, square it, and add it all up. I'm going to write that down. Take the average away from each x, square it, and add it all up. In that order. Now, why did I write that out? Because I still have some students, and I'm not talking about y'all, I'm talking about in probability and statistics, that will not read. They will not read this. They'll just look at it and they'll go, I don't know how to do it. Okay? So that's why I have to write this out. So here we go. And you think that's going to go away when y'all are in the real world? No. You're going to have sandbaggers wherever you work, wherever you go to school. They will not do anything. And then when the project's due, they're going to rely on you to do their part of the project. And I hate to tell you this, what gender are they usually? Anybody want to take a guess? Nobody?
Male.
Yep. They're usually males. X minus X bar. 71 minus 81.25. And I'm going to copy that down. Y'all need to put this in your notebook so you'll know what you're actually doing, so you don't forget. I usually tell students to do the first number, the middle numbers, and the last number if you don't want to do all of them in your notes. So that way you know what you're actually doing. You can fill in the other ones later. And here we're going to take X minus X bar and we're going to square it. So that first one's going to be over 100. And copy those down. And add them all up. And that is your numerator. So I'm going to go back to my whiteboard. 900.25 divided by 11. Now, if you can't figure out where that 11 comes from, then okay, we need to really talk about reading formulas. N minus 1, you should know where the 11 comes from. So 900.25. So variance is equal to 900.25 divided by this number minus 1. I'll check my math. I got 81.84. Somebody give me a thumbs up and tell me if that's what you got. Okay, thank you. And now take the square root of that or raise that to the 0.5 power. And that is the spread. And we're going to talk about that in just a minute. Because the key word for the standard deviation is the spread. 5-number summary. What's the mean? Well, there's the mean right there. We're going to color that bleu, azul. Comment se dit bleu espagnol, azul? If you miss the min and the max on the test, you don't tell anybody, right? Do not tell anybody that you missed the min and the max on the test. Right, Mr. Buck? Hello? What's so interesting over there, Mr. Buck? And that, we'll color that one some kind of orange. Okay, so if you miss the max and the min, well, I put the min in the wrong place. I'll fix that in just a second. There we go. There we go. If you miss the min and the max, please do not tell anybody. Mr. Bailey, are you there? What have I told y'all about the ceiling shots? What have I told you?
No ceiling shots.
Exactly. And if you have to be excused, what do? You mention it on the, say, I need to be excused, I'll be right back, or something like that. I'm not going to give you attendance for ceiling shots. Now, hopefully he'll come back in, and hopefully he'll know that, you know, you need to, if you got to go somewhere for 2 or 3 minutes, all you got to do is type in the chat, I need to be excused for 2 or 3 minutes, be right back. And I won't say a word. But if you give me a ceiling shot and I don't see you, then I'm going to take you out. So hopefully he'll come back. Hopefully he just had to step out for a second. And as long as I see the foreheads, which most of y'all are giving me foreheads, I just don't understand that. All right, what else? All right, now this I want you to listen to, because this is what people get confused about. The first quartile and the third quartile. You got to find the median of these numbers above your median. Now, somebody tell me where the median is in relation to these numbers. Somebody tell me where the median is. Where is it?
Middle.
Say again.
The median is in the middle.
Okay, tell me where that is. I want you to tell me where that is. That means I want y'all to tell me where the median is. Is it above the 71? Is it below the 98? Where is the median?
In the middle.
In the
So
middle.
it's right here, correct?
Yes.
Does everybody agree with that?
Yes.
Okay, now I'm going to ask you a question. How many numbers are above the median? How many numbers are above the median?
5.
6.
1,
5.
2,
6.
3, 4, 5, 6. Is 6 odd or even?
Even.
Even.
So we got to find the middle 2 numbers. 1, 2, 3. So this, we got to take the median of those 2 numbers. That's where students mess up the second, first, and third quartile. So equals parentheses this number plus this number divided by 2. And of course, there's 6 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these are your 2 middle numbers. Sorry. And we'll color those. I'm running out of colors. We'll go with that aqua. Oops. Yeah. No, that's not right. It's these 2 numbers. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It's those 2. Wait a minute. Oh, I moved my dot. My dot's supposed to be. How did I move my dot? Oh, there we go.
You have a work email.
Hold on a second. Let me fix my dot. There. There we go. All right. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2. There it is. And we're going to color those aqua. And that's going to be aqua equals parentheses 85 plus 90 divided by 2. And there is your 5-number summary. Okay, so now what do we do with all this information? Well, with the guys right here, you fill out your handy-dandy copy that I told you to make of the empirical rule. Did we talk about the empirical rule? Yes or no?
No.
Okay.
You introduced
Empirical
it.
rule.
Do it.
Somebody look in your book, if you've got a book, and tell me what page it's on. I believe it's on page 129, but it's called the empirical rule. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and tell you this. If you choose not to learn the empirical rule, you will fail this class. So if you choose not to learn it, you will fail this class because the empirical rule is going to follow you in Unit 1, Unit 3, and Unit 4. Unit 1, Unit 3, and Unit 4. So if you choose to not learn it, then you probably will fail this class. And the best way to learn it is to go to the web, go to the Google, and look what I pulled up, and I want you to pull it up. Normal curve empirical rule, and fix it on a. Well, I'll tell you what. Since I've done it for you, and since I know a third of y'all aren't going to do it, I will save this, and I'll save it in here. And I'm going to save it as a PDF. And we're going to call it Normal Curve Empirical Rule. And I'm going to send it to you. You're welcome. So let me get rid of this. Why'd that come up? I don't know. And I'm going to send it to you. I'm finding it. Hold on. Normal curve empirical rule. And it's loading. I need somebody to give me a thumbs up when you see it, and I'm sending it right now. Somebody give me a thumbs up when you see it. It's either going to be on the file page or your chat. Anybody? Okay, Mr. Mr. Baskins, he's got it. So, and if Mr. Baskins has got it, everybody's got it, right, Mr. Baskins?
You're exactly right.
I'll tell you what, Mr. Baskins, if everybody had, if all my students had your dadgum, I'm going to get in this class no matter what attitude, I would have all A's, because you've been fighting the technology and you finally made it.
Fine.
Did you look up those? Do you have a Droid phone or a Apple phone?
Apple.
Did you look it up?
I did a little bit last night. I'm gonna try to work on it some more this afternoon.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I think Miss Adams or somebody, who was it that found the app for Apples for the TI-83? Somebody type that in the chat, please. what is the app that y'all found? I think you said it was actually free for the Apple phone for the TI-84. Please type that in the chat, please. I can't remember. It was the girl in the middle of the class. I can't remember her name. Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Baskins. You know how this class doesn't communicate. So maybe somebody will type it in. All right.
It is free.
Okay. Well, somebody, type it in, please. Here is the empirical rule. And what you do with the empirical rule basically is the percentages. Okay? Those percentages right there is the empirical rule. Within one standard deviation of the mean, our mean is what? Our mean is 81. So I'm just going to put 81. You would use decimals, but I'm not going to fool with decimals because I'm not going to do those in my head while I'm doing this. So, and my standard deviation is 9. So on the right side of the number line from 81, I'm going to add 9. So this is going to be 90. This is going to be 99. And this is going to be 108. And on the left, 81 minus 9 is 72. Right? 72 minus 9 is 63. 63 minus 9 is 54. Now, that process that I just did, you need to learn it. What did I do on the right side of the equal sign? I add the standard deviation. What do you do on the left side of the equal sign? You subtract. Is there something outside? What's going on outside? All right. So, again, add, subtract. Learn that. Is it going away? No. These percentages are your empirical rule. Now, the empirical rule says, and I'm going to do this one time. The empirical rule says that 95% of the population falls within 2 what? Standard deviations. So if you add up these numbers, those percentages, you're going to get 95%. That's what the empirical rule says. 95% is going to fall within 2 standard deviations. Now, I'm talking 2 or 3 questions on the test here, just the empirical rule. So you better know it. Outside the 2 standard deviations, between the 2nd and the 3rd standard deviation, 2nd or 3rd standard deviation, you're talking about, what's the opposite of normal? Unusual.
Irregular.
Unusual. Unusual. And then what's outside unusual? Come on, people that's had probability and statistics before. Starts with an O. Your
Outlier.
Michael Jordans, your Tom
Outlier.
Brady's, your Tiger Woods.
The outlier.
The outliers. Good job. Somebody actually read something. Outliers. Trying to find my pink pen. Your 6 foot 3rd graders. Your 1800 SATers. Your 5th grader that can play Beethoven's Fifth? Or, you know, your third grader that can play Beethoven's Fifth. These are outliers. Name another, I mean, back in the day, Jack Nicklaus was like the Tiger Woods of the 60s and 70s. Okay? Every once in a while, there is a player that comes along, a sports figure, or, you know, an author, or somebody that just goes beyond. And that's, you know, and you can tell by how many rings they lead their team to. You know, Tom Brady, I think, has what, 6 rings? Michael Jordan has 5, 6 rings. Tiger Woods, there's no telling how many trophies he's got. Okay. Peyton Manning, that's another one. You know, I'm just thinking of sports figures right now. So that's what the empirical rule is. The empirical rule is the percentages and the colors. That is and what is the normal? Normal is 95%. Now, I want everybody to look at this thing as the fuel indicator on your car. Somebody tell me what the extreme left is. Empty.
Empty.
That's 0%. And somebody tell me what this is. That's your first quartile. And this is your second quartile. And this is around your third quartile. And this is full. Does anybody know the other names for the quartiles? This is the 25th percentile. This is the 50th percentile. And this is the 75th percentile.
I probably need to hook this computer up to the printer.
Why do you say that?
Because I need to print a couple of things.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Just don't give me a ceiling shot and leave the room. All right. That is the empirical rule, and you see the 5-number summary now. 5-number summary. This is your min, this is your max, first, second, third. Everybody with me so far? Okay, now the 5-number summary. What does it tell us? And remember, this, we'll go back here. The mean, 81.25, that's right here. .25, and then you add the standard deviations on the right, excuse my voice, and then you subtract the standard deviations on the left. Now, what about the 5-number summary? The 5-number summary gives you the box plot. 5-number summary gives you the box plot. The first thing you do is you draw a number line with the min, the max, and the mid-range. That's the first thing you do, draw a number line. The second thing you do is you graduate the number line. That means put lines on it that you can actually plot something. And then third, plot the first, second, and third quartiles on the number line. So here we go. Our min is 71. Our max is 98. And our mid-range is 85. So I just drew I did number one, I just did that. Now I'm going to graduate. Well, 71 to 85 is what, 14? Half of 14 is 7. So that's going to be 78. And 98, maybe 91. 71 to 78 is 8. Half of 8 is 4. That's 75. Half of 8 is 4, so that's going to be what? 82. 4 is 89. And 4 is 94. 95. Doesn't have to be, it's close enough for government work. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You're not putting O-rings on the space shuttle, okay? You're just graduating the number line. That's number 2. Now, number 3. What is my first quartile? It's orange. My first quartile is 74. My second quartile is 80. And my third quartile is 88. I just plotted those 3 numbers, and that's your box. So technically it looks like that right there, which is skewed right because all of my data is on the what of the middle. Because all of my data is on the left. See? And that's how you do the 5-number summary as well as the box plot. All that comes from all of this. Now, there's one other thing I want to show you before class is over and before y'all start going into convulsions, and that is z-scores. And if y'all notice, we are at the end of the unit. So that means a third of y'all are going to start running around in circles, running into the wall. Okay? Because you've got to do what? 4, 8, 12. You got to do 12, 13 sections of homework in the next 24 to 48 hours. So go ahead and run around in circles because I really don't give a damn. You waited till this long to do the homework, I don't give a damn. So anyway, make a long story short, what is z-scores? Here is a z-score. I want you to write this problem down. Hold on. Get out of here. Go away. I'm getting mad. There. I'm going to blow this up for you if I can. I want you to write down example 2. And you don't have to write it word for word. I just want you to write it so you can understand it. Example 2, write this down, please. LBJ versus Shaq. With a height of 75 inches, LBJ was the tallest president at that time. And just to let some of y'all know, LBJ, when people say LBJ, that is not the basketball player that whines and cries all the time. LBJ was given to Lyndon Baines Johnson. Okay, that's who LBJ is. Okay, I'm not even going there. All right, and the president's mean height is equal to, somewhere in here, presidents in the past have a mean height of 71.5 and a standard deviation of 2.1. Shaq has a height of 85 inches. And at that time, he was one of the tallest players in the NBA. Why is this an old question, and why am I using such an old question? Because this tells you why you use Z-scores. The X bar for basketball players is 80 inches, and the standard deviation for basketball players is 3.3. Who is relatively taller? Well, before you answer that, you really can't, because the key word is relatively. Anybody with 3 teeth in their head can tell you that Shaq is taller than LBJ. All you got to do is look at the height. Okay? But that's not what the question's asking. The question is asking, who is relatively taller? What are the qualifications for being president of the United States? Somebody mentioned some of the qualifications. You got to have mail-in voting. I'm sorry, that's not a qualification.
You have to be a citizen.
You got to be a natural-born citizen of the United States, and you got to be at least what? Is it 43 or 42 years old or something? I can't remember. You got to be a certain age. Is there any qualification as far as height? No. So you can be president like James Madison and be 5'4" or 5'5". I think he was 5'4" or 5'5". Or you could be 75 inches like LBJ. How tall was Franklin Delano Roosevelt? Well, when he was standing up or when he was in his wheelchair. See, height doesn't matter. But what is height? What is height in the NBA? It's an advantage, isn't it? So LBJ is technically a big fish in a what? Little pond. And what is Shaq? A little fish in a what? Big pond. So we're comparing apples to what?
Apples to oranges.
Thank you. And that's what Z-scores do. Write that down. Z-scores compare apples to oranges. Z-scores compare apples to oranges. So you change each one to a z-score. X minus X bar over standard deviation. X minus X bar over standard deviation. So 75 minus 71.5 over 2.1. I need somebody to crank that out for me. And 85 minus 80 over 3.3. Let me remind you that I am going over test material here. So if you are doing something else while I'm teaching, don't you dare ask me, because I've already covered this material. Okay, I'm covering it right now. I'm just telling you. All right, so somebody give me this up here. What's this one? What is 75 minus 71.5 over 2.1?
1.67.
1.67. And what is 85 minus 80 over 3.3?
1.515.
1.52. So we're going to plot those on the z-scale. I'm going to call this one Shaq. I'm going to call him blue. And we're going to do green for 1.67. So I'm going to take my, I'm just going to do another one. So where is 1.67? This is 0. This is 1, 2, 3, -1, -2, -3, because these are z-scores. Z-scores 0, -1, -2, -3, 1, 2, 3. The mean is equal to 0, and the standard deviation is equal to 1 when you're doing z-scores. Okay? So where is 1.67? 1.67 is right in here. And where is 1.51? 1.51 is right in here. Who is closer to the outliers? Who is closer to the outliers?
The president.
I didn't hear you.
President.
LBJ is closest to the outliers. Therefore, LBJ is relatively taller. The closer to the outlier, the more ER you are. The closer to the outliers, the more ER you are, in this case, taller. Okay. What's happening in the back there? I've got 3 minutes, and some of y'all are standing up like y'all are leaving. That's rude. Please sit down. It's like y'all are trying to push my buttons today. I'll wait. Okay, we're going to wait until everybody sits down. I'm not going to be rude. You're going to be rude to me, I'm going to be rude to you. Don't you ever stand up and get like you're going out of my room 3 minutes before class is over. Do y'all understand me? Well, y'all are taking a good situation and you're taking advantage of it is what you're doing. Does anybody have any questions? Okay. So far, I just went over 3.4 and 3.5. So therefore, in the next couple of days, either Friday or Monday, because I haven't seen any questions from y'all, so I'm just assuming that you know it. If I don't receive any questions by Friday, we're going to have the pretest. And then I will assign the test. We'll go over it in class, and I'll assign the dates on the test and the homework. Chances are, if I go over that pretest Friday, your homework will be due probably Saturday at midnight. If I go over it Monday, then chances are it'll be Tuesday or Wednesday midnight. Okay? All right, I'm going to take the roll. Now, some of y'all can get up and start getting ready, okay? It's called being courteous. All right, let me go to the, and go to the roll. And they have logged me out. Hold on a second, I have to log back in. Gotta love Tri-County Tech. Log you out after 15 minutes. And this is 1/20/24. And Adams is here. Bailey is not here. Baskins is here. Bowen is here. That's Brianna. But Brianna's not here. But Candace is here. Cadence, sorry. Cadence. Branyan is here. Brooks is here. Buck is here. Garrett is here. Garrett is here. And as I call your last name, you're welcome to leave. I'm moving up now. Tamara Gray is here. Miss Gray. Catherine is not here. Tamara is here. Hallman, Long, Martinez. Hallman, Long, Martinez. Okay, one of the Longs are not here. Colleen is here. Bryson is not. Martinez is here. Retribution Mita is here. Moray is here. Moultrie is here. Norton is here. Knoll is here. C is here. Smith is here. Strickland is here. Sullivan is here. Turner is here. And Whiteside. All righty. I will see y'all Wednesday or Friday. And is there any questions?
Hubert.
Yes.
Hubert.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, I'm talking. Yes.
Yeah, I know. I missed a lot of your lecture because I sent you a message. The video and audio quality were breaking up on my end for what.
Where are you? Yeah, you're freezing up. I think you sure in.
I just
because
had one question. So for like data that it is my end. But so for like today, like the thing that we did with the 71, 71, 73, and we're going to find the variance, X would be the median and X bar would be the mean, right?
No, not X is each one of your test scores. The first X, the second X, third X, fourth X, fifth X. Those are all X's. Your test scores are your X's.
So the 71 is an X score. The 73 is an X score.
Yep.
Okay.
And you subtract the mean from each one of them.
Okay. And then you divide that by n minus 1.
Yes, for your standard deviation. I mean, yeah.
Okay. So
and I wrote the formula. Make sure you watch the video because I wrote the formula down.
Okay. Yeah. I wrote it down too. But I've been going back and like looking at your videos and stuff. If I feel like I missed something. But
oh my gosh, what a concept!
Yeah.
Maybe I ought to pass that
right.
along to other students.
Yeah. Well, they're like 18 years old, so
Yeah, I know. You can't tell them anything.
you can't. But and math's a little harder for me anyway. Um, and then n is the total frequency, x is the mid-interval value of each class.